My name is BLAMEY. I'm a physiotherapist with the Adult Inherited Bleeding Disorders Clinic in Winnipeg. Welcome to CODEROUGE 2021. Hopefully the last time that we'll be doing the conference entirely as a virtual event. I think this has become one of the signature events of the Canadian Hemophilia Society for a very good reason. It focuses on an area of bleeding disorders care and overall health that historically hasn't received the amount of attention that it both deserved and required. And I think the reason why I was asked to join the very distinguished list of presenters that has been put together for this year is because of involvement that I've had previously with the area of sexuality and sexual health. And a resource that I released back in 2012, I can't believe it's that long ago now, but a small book that I published along with the assistance of Bayer Healthcare that was entitled Sexual Health and Hemophilia, Preventing Joint and Muscle Injuries. And what it covered was information specific to the physicality of sex and how both the nature of having sex itself can create the potential for injury in a person with a bleeding disorder, as well as how to maintain a healthy sex life if you happen to be dealing with a musculoskeletal complication at any given time. And that book included information specific for men who are in straight relationships, men who are in gay relationships. And I think if you were to extrapolate some of that information, it could have been applicable for a lot of women with inherited bleeding disorders, depending on their situation. But the information was not specific to women. And the intention when I released that resource was always to allow it to exist for a period of time and then update it, provide new content, new perspective, and the focus of the next version of the resource is to include information specific to women who have bleeding disorders and their support networks and their sexual partners, so that the same kind of focus on how to prevent joint and muscle injury and how to work around a joint or muscle injury in regards to your sexual health and having sex and having a healthy sex life can be best achieved. As I said many times when I released that original resource, there's so much good information in the field of sexual health, including things like safer sex practices. But my expertise as a physiotherapist is in the musculoskeletal system, and that is where the focus of this resource lies. I think we're starting to see so much more on conference programs with respect to sexual health, and that is something that I think is being mirrored in terms of a focus on women's issues and women's health. And I don't think that it's unusual that, as with the sexual health resource that I released in 2012, which at the time really was the only resource available globally of its kind for people who have bleeding disorders. And I don't think that it's uncommon for Canadian content to find itself on the vanguard of various issues. And I think that the Canadian Hemophilia Society and the CODEROUGE conference and the content that has always been provided is something that has been on the cutting edge when we're talking about women's health. And so I released this video as a placeholder, if you like. I think because of the pandemic, which disrupted so much of our lives in general, including timeframes for production of resources such as the one that I'm discussing here, that the most reasonable time to look for this updated resource would not be until at least 2022. But it is coming, and I was very honored, as I say, and thrilled to receive the invite to talk a little bit about it in this context. So I wish everybody a wonderful CODEROUGE conference. There is so much great content and so many wonderful speakers on the program, and I know that it's going to be another success for the CHS, as all of these CODEROUGE conferences in the past have been. So have a great time, learn a lot, and hope to see you soon.